Hey everyone, welcome to SarteK programming. This is the 8th video of this playlist, and if you haven't checked the first 7 videos, do check them out. Today we will be starting with lists in Python. So what is list? List is a data structure which is used to store collection of data in one single variable. So before knowing how do we use list, how to implement list, we'll first see why exactly do we need list. So let's say if I ask you to store marks of 10 different students, how would you do it? From the knowledge that we have up till now, from whatever we have covered of variables in this course, uh, one way of doing it would be like this. We can create 10 different variables, we can store different marks in it. This marks can be different obviously, but that's not the point. The point is that we need to create 10 variables here. If I would change my question and ask you to store the marks of 100 students, you will have to create 100 different variables, and problem would be that it would be tedious to remember that there were 100 variables, what were their names, and it would be hard to access those. And most importantly, we would just waste 100 lines of code just writing this same thing again and again, obviously with the different this number, but still we will have to write this for 100 times, which isn't expected. We can do better. So what's the better option? We just have to store these marks, right? So what we can do is we can create just one variable and store the marks of how many store the marks of number of students that we want. We can store 10, 100, 1000. We can store any number of students here. So by the way, this is how we create lists. So I have answered this question, how to create lists. We write a variable here, and whenever we write these square brackets, the interpreter understands that we are trying to create a list here. We can create a list of one item also. We can create a list of 0 items also. So if I run this, it won't give me any error. See, so now I will fill the marks of students here. So I'll fill the marks of student here. Okay, so I have filled this list with the marks of 10 students, and if we want to print this list, we can print it like this. So if I run this, we'll get this list. Okay, so we have got the list of marks of 10 students. We can add another marks, and we don't have to create a new variable. See, we got the marks of 12 students now. Now there's something that you need to know about list, that these list items are ordered. So like this first item is on 0th index, like this is on 0th index, the second item is on first index, this is on second, then this is on third, and like since there are 12 items in this, so the last index would be 11. So this 45 will be on index number 11. So these are ordered, and since these are ordered, we can access them by using the indexes. So like if I have to print the marks of the first student, remember this, that the index doesn't start with 1, it starts with 0. So if we have to print the marks of first student, we will have to write 0 here. If I run this, see, we got marks of first student. Now if I have to print the marks of last student, in this case we know the last student is on 11th index, so I'll run this and see, we got 45. So list items are ordered, and I've proved that these are ordered. Now these are changeable. What do we mean by changeable? So like okay, I have printed the marks of 11th student as 45, and now we will change this mark of 11th student to, let's say, 50. If we print his marks, we will get 50. So his marks are increased now, and if I print the whole list too, if I print the whole list, it will be updated. So like these marks are updated in the list as well. So see, we got 50 here. So now we have updated it very easily. So the last student now has 50 marks. Now we have covered this ordered changeable, and now third is allow duplicate values. So like if this guy second guy doesn't have 70 marks, he has 77 marks. So and this is on first index, right, and this is on second index. So these values can have duplicate duplicates, like this can also be 55, and it won't matter because we have order. So if we want to know the mark of first student, we will write marks of 1 and we will get 77. Mark of this student, we will write marks of 2 and we will get marks of him. So since these are ordered, these allow duplicates and we can easily access it. So I have covered this. I will remove this. In case if you want to calculate the length of this list, which is a very useful function because there will be times when you will need the length of this list. So this is how we calculate the length. We will store this value in this variable, and this is the function len, and we will write marks here. So we will get the length. Now this length is stored in this length variable, and now using this we can actually print the marks of last student using this. So the reason I wrote -1 here is because this will give the actual length. So like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. So the length will have 12, but since the indexing start from 0, this is 0th, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, it will go up till 11 only. So if we print just length here, we will get an error. I will show you. See, we got the error, array index out of bound, because there's no element on 12, right? So this will show an error, but since we know that this last variable is not actually on 12 but 11, so we will write length -1 to access the last element. And if I run this now, we will get 45. Another way of accessing the last element is simply by writing, we don't have to write this, just -1. So if we just write negative index, we will get last. If we write -3, so we will get the third element from the last. 45, 99, 87, we will get 87. So these are the things that you should know. So we have covered how to access element right from the start or from the end, but what we have seen is just accessing the one element, just printing that one element. What if we want to access the range of elements? What if we want to access the whole list? And the way to access this whole list, the way to print this whole list is by using loops. So how are we gonna do it? That I have actually covered in my for loops video. So if you want to see that, you can check that video. I will leave the link for that video in the description section. I will also leave that link in the suggested videos. Consider checking it out. But I will tell you this one thing, that we can access these elements directly one by one. Like we can start from here and go up till very end using this syntax. And like this I will denote directly the element, and the second way is by using indexes. So in this case, this I denotes the index, like the 0 index, the first index, and so on. So there are two ways. If you want more and better explanation, do check that video. Now coming back here, there's also one more way which is known as shorthand for, and its syntax goes something like this. This is just shorthand method for this first type. So this is this, and this is just similar, with just its representation is different. So what happens first is this mark will store the value of 100 and will print this mark. Then this value of mark will become 77, then 77, then this 55, and it will go on and go on, and at last its value will be 45. And when it's traversing this list one by one, it's also printing this mark. So we'll get the list all at once. So that's about accessing all the elements. Then there's one more thing known as slicing, which is very popular in Python. What it does is it divides the list into smaller list, like it creates a sub list, we can say, and it's actually important in some cases. So let's say we don't want the marks of this whole 10 students, we just want the marks of first 5 students, and we want to store them in a list. So what we can do is we can create another list with marks of 5 students, and it will be a sub list of this only. And how we will do is like this. So it will start from from 0th student, like this student, and we want this 0th, 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Since we want 4th student, we will have to write 5 here because it includes this value but does not include this value. So this is included and this is excluded. So you can also understand it like it goes till 1 less than this value. So it goes till less than 5. It does not go till less than equals to 5. It goes till less than 5. That is till 4. Okay. So 0th, 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th. So we have new list now, and if I print this, we will get another list with 5 students. See, we got the first 5 students. We can have different slices, like we can now start with 5. So from this 29 and go till last till 45. For that we will have to do like this, and we can create any type of slices that we want. I will actually write 10 here so that it includes only 5 students. So yeah, so that's about slices and for loops. In lists in Python, we can store different types of data types in one list. So like we can store, I will create a list, and we can store any type of values. Like I will store sartek. This is a string, right? And then a number, let's say 77, and then a boolean. So this, all of these 3 are of different data types. Other languages might not support it, but Python supports multiple data types in one list. So these 3 elements are of different data types, and we can store it and it won't create any issue. If I print this, it will just print it, and we got what we wanted. One more thing is, if you want to join 2 lists, the easiest way of doing it is just creating a third list named, we will name this as just list, and what we will append is marks list plus random list. So we have appended these 2 lists under the name list, and if I print the list, now this variable contains both of this list, and we will get this, both these lists together. Okay, so we have covered a lot of topics in lists in Python, but there's more to it. There are a lot of functions which are really helpful and which comes in handy in assessments because it makes our job really easy. So we'll cover those in the next video. So thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.